Episode 6 of Alternate History of the World. Let's get into it. So, last episode, many things happened, and today, just like last episode, we're going to be starting in Italy, because Italy is continuing their speed run of collapsing. We're going to be going back to the Indian Civil War, as the Civil War situation currently looks like this. And yeah, it's a pretty big mess that Italy is somehow going to have to deal with. But very quickly, these two areas here are going to fall, as these areas will also be rebelling away, and the Italians are losing control even quicker than they thought, which is not something to be proud of because they've already lost basically all their colonies, and Sri Lanka's already independent, so and India is just going to surrender as the Italians lose control, and we can look at a peace treaty. And this is a peace treaty, as Italy fully loses control of India. And there's still a bunch of smaller groups trying to break away. And Italy, currently, it looks like this. And they are going to be losing even more control of their limited colonies. As the areas or native areas in the peninsula, or not so native, but Corsica, but now Sardinia breaks away, and also Sicily breaks away, and the Italians are just not going to do a thing about it, as they are going to be allowed to go through there to occupy these colonies, but the Italians have basically given up at this point. As when we go back down to here, we're going to see that a huge rebel group is going to break away from the from the Italians. As the Italians are going to just be forced to give this up. And it also even spreads all the way up to Egypt and Libyan areas. And this is what the rebel group looks like. And I will be getting rid of this, as this rebel group is going to be breaking up even more, as it is going to be forced to make a bunch of areas independent. And this is the areas that are breaking away. And also, Algeria is going to declare independence from Italy. And just like every other colony, the Italians are going to do nothing about it. And the Italians are still speed running their collapse. Time to go to these new Austrian-Hungarian Empire area things. Because, the Germans are going to be declaring war on some of them, as they will be declaring war on the Ukrainian independent states, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia. As the Germans start by entering their troops into Czechia, starting with them going through and quickly being able to go ahead and surround their areas. As the front line looks like this, and eventually Czechia is going to surrender before they quickly zoom into Slovakia to take it out. And then very quickly again into Ukraine in order to take it out, and we can look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty. And Germany is going to get a lot of backlash for these actions, as specifically from Austria, as these areas just gained their independence. But what can they do? Yeah, really, what can they do? Well, to go to Central Asia, as this Turkmenistan country has finally chosen a side. Now, what side will they be choosing? They will be choosing the Circle Alliance to, be in the alliance. And, the Circle Alliance, Egypt, which is a country that just broke away from Italy, is going to join it. But the Italians are still holding faith. And they believe that the Germans can help them, survive. And the next thing that is going to happen is the Italian, Spanish, and German coalition against the southern French country. And, not so good for them, as the Italians quickly enter their troops in. Never mind, because they quickly leave. No, they get pushed back. But when the Spanish and German troops arrive, this is just, destroying this country, as they literally beat back the entire country except the troops in Italy, which they are still pushing back in Italy, until they are forced to surrender eventually, and we can look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty. Wait a second. Switzerland. I'll just fix that real quick. Yeah, can fix that a bit more. Never mind. I guess we're doing an invasion of Switzerland now, as the Germans will be invading Switzerland. Yeah, as the Germans enter the troops, and the Italians eventually enter. Peace treaty time. Also, Liechtenstein joined, but lost. But this French invasion has really just made like this just showing the world that the what is the might of the Italians really, according to them. These countries they don't believe in the Italians anymore, as they've already lost all this territory and they could barely even beat a southern French country. Yeah, and well, it's not good for Italy at all. And another thing is going to happen with Communist Russia, as the Communist Russians are going to be making their own alliance. Actually, they'll be joining an alliance. Oh my, what are you doing here? And for China, they're just gonna stay neutral. Yeah, Asia is a lot more independent now. We can go to the Americas because Mexico is having a lot of independence issues as well. As another foreign force is going to be, well, declaring war on them. Oh wait, don't the Germans occupy this area? Yeah, they do. But what's going to happen is Central America, just like in real life, the Central Americans are going to be breaking away from the Mexicans. As, well, yeah, again, as they will be invading and they're forced to give them independence. But also, California declares its independence, and so does Oregon. And more of these areas will be declaring independence, and we can see what Mexico lets away. And this is what Mexico lets go, as Mexico lets go of California, Oregon, Texas, and Central America. Yeah. And well, more countries are going to be joining certain alliances over here. As well, the Circle Alliance is going to gain these two countries from their members over here. But the Triangle Alliance is going to gain these two countries as their members. And well, who knows what could happen over here anytime soon, but time to go to these two countries here, as these two countries will be joining the Ottoman Square Alliance, as the Ottoman Empire has really been expanding lately. And here's some new victims, countries that you can go after that are pretty weak actually. And oh no, why did I tell the Ottomans that? Now they are going to go invade them, as the Ottomans will be starting their invasions of the Balkans, or just an event known as the Ottoman Balkan Invasions, as they quickly invade Montenegro and take it. And then they are going to invade the rest of these Yugoslav countries. They believe that Austria and Hungary shouldn't be invaded, but they are going to go ahead and go up into Serbia and eventually take Belgrade. And Bucharest is already taken and occupied by the Ottomans, so, well, the Romanians fall. And eventually the Bosnians and Croatians will eventually be forced to surrender. And this is the peace treaty. But for the rest of this, well, that's not so good. As Germany and the Ottomans are going to make a coalition against these two countries. As Vienna is quickly taken, and, well, yeah, we can look at a peace treaty as these countries both surrender. Yeah, because they're so weak compared to these two. It's the peace treaty. And, well, we are going to be looking at the British Isles. Oh, wait, that's Britain. We're going to avoid that. Yeah. But we're going to be going over here, as this colony is going to declare independence from the Germans. And they're going to immediately join the Triangle Alliance. Yeah, that's something. And the Germans state that they do not care about what happens over in the Americas or anything to do with their colonies. As long as they have control of the Panama Canal, the east coast of the United States, and, well, the Strait of Malacca, and some Southeast Asian areas, and also some of the Southern African areas, they are going to be fine. So basically, the rest of the giant empire, they could basically give it all up except Panama, these areas, eventually these southern areas here. Makes sense, these are major trade routes. And also these areas here. So they're basically saying they will be willing to give up all of this colony area except those areas. And, well, we can see that the Central American one, or South American one, has already declared its independence. But the Germans are going to make their own separate states of Germany. And they basically kind of make this area sort of like free land, but still controlled by them. Yeah? As they will be going ahead and officially only occupying these areas, as the rest of these will become semi-independent states. As the Germans still own them, but, well, they basically can do what they want. Not a very smart idea, in my book. Yeah. And, well, that is, well, going to do it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Alternate History of the World. See you in the next episode, and bye!